treat you like. In my last cigarette, I'ma 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 treat you like.
Hope it don't end the
In my last
same
cigarette,
way. About to start another day.
I'ma treat you like. In my last cigarette,
About to start another day. Hope it don't end the same way. About to start another day. Hope it don't end the same way. About to start another day.
I'ma treat you like. In my last cigarette,
About to start another day.
I'ma treat you like. In my last cigarette,
About to start another day.
I'ma treat you like. In my last cigarette, I'ma treat you like. In my last cigarette, I'ma treat you like. In my last cigarette, I'ma treat you like. In my last cigarette.
What is up? What is up, man? We are back in black in the building. Man, what is going on, man? I'm your boy Warren G. The place to be. Been chronic sucker free since 2003. That was 20 years ago. You could not finesse me. That was my best year in Las Vegas, Nevada. Man, what is going on, man? We black in black. Johnny, Erica, Tasha, James Youngblood, David No Compromise. Hey, man, we got a great topic. This is something that y'all know I'ma love. We gonna talk about Ja Morant and the corporate plantation rules. But you know, before we get into that, I'm gonna tell y'all, did Jesus come back today? Aw, damn. God, so did you sing in the choir today?
In my last cigarette,
Oh man, did you see Sunday school? Man, I knew a bitch at the church I was going to had the nerve
in my last
to break the sugar-free CD in church and then try to call me
in my last cigarette,
out. And my good family member, Cuzzo, Keon, R.I.P. to him. He's been dead 19 years, trying to call us out in the 90s. And this bitch was fucking my brother the whole time. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. Tasha know what I'm talking about. But anyway, man, we gonna get into it today, man. We got a lot of shit to discuss, but more so, we gonna talk about this. I was watching a Corey Holcomb podcast, and he played a video, but I've seen it surfacing about Donald Trump. He was saying some real shit. I kind of want to touch on that as well. We're going to get into a couple of things today, but the main topic is we're going to talk about Ja Morant doing the video and how the corporate plantation has responded. Let's get into it. Hey,
in my last cigarette, I'ma treat you like.
let's turn this down.
My last cigarette,
Man, I am so glad to make it back. I'm always happy to make it back, man. I'm going to get this live shit going. I kind of like doing it this way. I know James Youngblood, hey, James Youngblood be on my ass like, hey, nigga, no, nigga, you need to do the lives. Fuck all that bullshit. I'm going to get back to the live. I think it's my memory. You know how MacBook Pros and iPhones is, you know, you get the shit and they're like, oh, you got to get the memory. Well, what's the memory? Oh, it's in the cloud. Man, get the fuck out of here. But anyway, I just wanted to talk on it, man. Okay, so there was a video, I guess, of Ja Morant doing the video. He had a firearm in there, which there's nothing wrong with owning a firearm, but you have to own it and respect the firearm and what the message that you have to convey when you're in a position like Ja Morant's is, you have the firearm to protect you, not to just be brandishing it and you know, acting like you hard. Now, I can't wait to get James Youngblood, David's response. Tasha, I definitely want to see what Tasha gonna say. See, us being from LA, we know about that violence. I've lost a lot. We've lost a lot of family members to violence. So I'm very interested to see what everybody's gonna say. This is my perspective. Why do we feel the need to want to be hard once we got hundreds of millions of dollars? Look, I don't give a fuck what none of y'all niggas say. Once I got $100 million, as long as my family and shit is taken care of, they ain't gonna give a fuck either. If they do, then they got a problem. If I don't have to go work a regular 9-to-5 job and get treated like shit, and all I gotta do is play basketball and I get sponsorships and I get millions of dollars, man, you ain't gonna have to worry about me doing none of that shit. Some of us want to be free. I get it. We want to do what we want to do, but there's a book called $40 Million Slave. I haven't read that book yet, but go get that book. They are slaves. They are on the corporate plantation, just like us. They just have more options than us, but they're on the corporate plantation. They have to do what their supervisors and their ownership tells them to do. So don't get it twisted. And the thing that really kind of makes me laugh is like, child, what are you doing, bro? Just go out there and play basketball. Do that when you out of the NBA, you can say and do what you want to do. But right now, you are beholden to the NBA, which is ran by the dominant society. You know good and damn well they ain't gonna play that shit because they don't want that heat coming up on them. That's like you going on your job and talking crazy or making crazy videos on social media and showing everybody at your job. Yeah, so it's gonna get back to somebody, and management's gonna come to you and be like, hey, this is the policy, this is what it is. We have to learn how to be slow to speak, eager to hear, and when you're not at the corporate plantation, keep your business to yourself. Let's not be, I would say, let's not be the entertainment for everyone. Sometimes it's not good to be entertainment. Sometimes it's good to fall back. You know what I mean? I'm not telling nobody not to be on social media, and I'm not telling nobody what to do on Facebook and all that. I'm just saying sometimes when you have that type of access to capital and you're a big time name and everybody knows you are, sometimes it's good for you to just fall back. And the reason why I would say it's good for you to fall back is because the first thing they're gonna hit you with is, hey man, you're damaging our brand. They don't give a fuck about your brand. And since you're beholden to the NBA, we gotta fall back. It's just like being at the job. It's the same shit. What they do is a job as well. They just get paid more money than you, but it's a job. And we have to understand it and respect it. That's your way of making a living. And we have to stop wanting to be so street affiliated. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I get it, because you don't want motherfuckers trying to test you, and I get that, but sometimes it's not good to want to be street affiliated. And if you are, man, a lot of people, just keep it to yourself. You don't need to do all that. You know what I mean? Because that's what they want to do. They want to promote that negative behavior and convey the wrong message. And me personally, I saw what I think it was Paul Pierce was kind of defending it like, hey man, look, I got stabbed in the club, so hey, I had a firearm. But then I think Des Bryant was like, you need to get them niggas from around you. So let's see what Stephen Smith has to say about it. Let's see.
I'm really proud of the statement that Ja Morant put out. It was necessary, it was apropos, no doubt about that. And I want to make sure that Ja Morant, his family, his friends, and everybody understands that all of us up here are fans of his. And anything that we say, myself, Will Bond, Jalen Rose, Woj, anybody, we're saying it in the best interest of his future. I covered Allen Iverson for the first 10 years of his career, every day. And when I tell you that was a beat in and of itself, Woj knows what I'm talking about with that. Everybody knows what I'm talking about there. It was a different level, okay? But when you look at Ja Morant, the one thing that I find incredibly alarming, there was so much stuff that Allen Iverson took hits for that had nothing to do with him, but everything to do with the company he kept. And because from the streets, very loyal, ain't diming out anybody, he take a lot of hits. In this particular instance, that's Ja on film. That's Ja that you see on the TMZ video. He had no choice but to own that, to be honest with you. And so I applaud him for embracing that. But when you bring into account the other incidences, let me look in the camera and say what I'm about to say to Ja Morant. You are a superstar.
For once, I do agree. He is a superstar. He is a superstar, but make sure you have these conversations behind closed doors. Don't just chastise him in public because your boss said to do it too.
You're 23 years old. You got a deal that kicks in next year that could exceed $231 million over the next 5 years. And on this show, on national television, there's you associated with police. Think about that for a second. And then ask yourself, is it really, really worth it? You know the answer to that, bro. It's not worth it. You're a superstar basketball player. You represent your organization. You represent your family. You represent your city. You've got to be mindful of all of that. It's never off. And so many times we don't tell these players this. NBA has off-duty police officers. They've got connections with the FBI. They got connections with everybody. The NBA knows what you're doing. They know who you're doing it with. They know where you are. They know.
I'm sorry, y'all, but I have to agree. I've heard Carmelo Anthony state that so many times. He said, man, the NBA is the feds because they know everything. Of course, it's a billion-dollar industry. They're going to know where you're at. I hate that I don't agree with everything that Stephen A. Smith is saying because I believe he should say it behind closed doors. But, man, when you're working for people, that's what's at stake.
How you're conducting yourself at all times. Don't think they're not watching. They're always watching. And when I get upset is that all of us, Jalen's from the streets of New York, Detroit, I'm from the streets of New York City. You know, we know this kind of stuff. We know the kind of things that people fight just to protect the few dollars they have. What do you think an organization is going to do to protect their multi-billion-dollar investment?
Did y'all hear what he just said? James Youngblood, Tasha, did y'all hear what he just said? Because that's a motherfucking fact. I hate to agree with that motherfucker, but guess what? You're not the boss, as Dame Dash would say. So you report to a boss. So what did I just get done saying? They're going to protect, bottom line, they're going to protect the bottom line. So if you're making them look like they're condoning that type of illegitimate behavior to them, because they think it's illegitimate behavior, to people like us, it's like, that's just a nigga on social media being silly. He ain't finna do shit. But to them, hell no, because they're marketing to the dominant society. And if you look scary to them, nah, that's not gonna happen.
They will spare no expense. They will do whatever they can. So I want him to be mindful of that, be aware of that, understand that you're in a different stratosphere. You got to conduct yourself properly. I'm going to say it to his boys as well. I had the pleasure of meeting them in Dallas this summer. I think good dudes, hearts in the right place. They mean him no harm. But you got to step up and be protective of yourself and be protective of him by the way you conduct yourself. That laser that was allegedly pointing at the Indiana Pacers, you can't have stuff like that coming on. You can't have stuff. And last but not least, his dad, to T. Morant. Nothing but love and respect for you, sir. You are his daddy, not his friend. His daddy. I'm not saying you can't be friends, but you're his father. And so when we see this kind of stuff going on, all of y'all get lumped in because it ain't just a 23-year-old Ja Morant.
All right, I'm done playing that. But let me tell you something. Not only will they protect their investment, if they can get somebody better for you, they will trade you. Right now, you're a hot commodity, so I don't foresee the Memphis Grizzlies just being like, all right, well, fuck this nigga. Let's bring another nigga in. I don't see that. But what I do see is them reprimanding you. And what I do see them is chastising you behind closed doors and sitting you down. Now, I really feel like there needs to be a crash course for our young black athletes about how they conduct themselves, what they do with their money, the company that they keep. The reason why I say that is because sometimes people are not there to help you. People are there to harm you. People are there to put you in harm's way. People are there to sow discord. Because real motherfuckers gonna be like, hey, dog, take that video down. Hey, man, don't do that. Hey, we not doing that shit. You know what I mean? So it's like we have to make better decisions. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about the older generation. And the younger generation got to start listening. You know what I mean? Because they're giving out these mega maxed amount contracts to our athletes, but our athletes ain't never had that type of money before. So I get it. You go crazy. You know, you want to do things. You want to let motherfuckers know what is going on. But sometimes you have to look at the dominant society and say, do you ever see Jeff Bezos making Instagram videos telling everybody what he's doing? Do you ever see Mark Zuckerberg doing that? Do you ever see Warren Buffett no, I remember Warren Buffett's granddaughter was in this documentary called the One Percenters. And he told her, if you do the documentary, you're disowning, I ain't giving you no fucking money. She did the video, he ain't get a bitch no money. Because they have brands to protect. They have holding companies to protect. You have to view yourself as a business. Which brings me to my next point. When you're on the corporate plantation, shut the fuck up, do your job, get the fuck up out of there. That's what you got to do. Show them what you allow them to see. You know what I mean? Don't just be inviting everybody in. We have to stop getting on social media and just telling all our fucking business all the goddamn time. just because we're gonna get likes and views and all that. No, sometimes keep that integrity high. Have a different understanding of who you are, and you're gonna hear me say it every week. Have some intrinsic value of who you are, man. I think that's the problem with black folk today. I was having this conversation, and I said, with the exclusion of family, but most people you meet when you're a business owner or something, they want to argue and fight you down and find any negative thing that you got going on, because it's our mental condition that we are in. We don't want to see each other win. We want to see each other. If you want to see somebody win, you have I call it the Dutch Schultz complex. If you ever watch Hoodlum, you want to see them win as long as you giving them the table scraps. But if they by far exceed the maximum amount of shit that you can do, now you have an issue. Now you're not feeling some type of way. We don't want to see each other win. We don't want to do business with each other. And when we do we amass a little bit of wealth, we want to get on social media and be a caricature. Sometimes we got to get off of that social media, which is the matrix, and get your head out of your ass and get in the game, because that's what's most important. That's the most important thing that I think that we need to do. And for all y'all that are at the Plantation, man, get in there, do your job, and get the fuck on. Stop going to, I tell people all the time, stop going in there and then telling all your business to these, y'all ain't read Nelly Fuller Jr.'s book? Don't go in there telling all your business to the dominant society, thinking that that's gonna get you in good. Stop going in there telling on other motherfuckers, being a Sambo. Get in there, get your job done, and get the fuck on. You know, I meet some people that go to the Plantation, they have these high expectations that they gonna move up that hierarchy of needs. I be laughing at their asses. Shit, I've been called hater and then some. Oh, yeah, you just hate. I'm like, yeah, okay. We'll see. And then them same people, years later, that ain't moved up that hierarchy and needs corporate ladder, now they pissed off. Now it's, oh, fuck these white people and all that. Just stop. You wasn't saying that when you was trying to move up that goddamn corporate ladder that they had for you. And when they kicked you off that motherfucker, now it's like, oh, well, fuck them white motherfuckers. Stop. If you had intrinsic value of who you were, you would know, hey, man, moving up this corporate ladder, that's damn near impossible, because I got to be who they want me to be, not who I want to be. Because really, their job is to make you feel like you can be all you can be, but really it's be all you could never be in the dominant society. That's really what it is. But hey, man, that's my time. I'm gonna say it's one thing. You see it on the core plantations. You see it in MLB, in NFL, in the NBA. You see it at church. You see it everywhere. You see politics and moving up these ladders everywhere. That's social stratification bullshit to keep people on the rat race. But once you know who you are, you're like, I'm not doing that shit. But you already know what it is. You know what it ain't. We gotta know what, nigga, you don't own the NBA. And anything that puts them at a disadvantage, they gonna slap you down. You didn't learn from Kyrie? Nigga, you don't own that job. They own you, nigga. And don't forget that. Hey, man, I'm out. You already know what it is. You know what it ain't, man. Leave your comments. And I'll holler at y'all on Tuesday. Guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.
My last cigarette.